There is something very important you need to understand as you move into August 25th. No matter how many times life has tried to shake your confidence, your direction, or your belief in yourself, you are still standing. And that is not an accident. You have been through situations that could have completely changed the way you see yourself. There have been people who tried to make you doubt your abilities. There have been moments when you questioned whether you were really on the right path. And there may even have been times when you felt as though certain people were deliberately trying to disturb your peace. But August 25th carries a very different message for you. You are not being asked to fight every battle. You are being reminded that some battles are already over. The things that once had the power to deeply affect you are beginning to lose their influence. You are becoming stronger emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. You are learning that you don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. And most importantly, you don't have to allow somebody else's behavior to determine how you feel about yourself. There is a powerful message around protection surrounding you on August 25th. If recently you have felt as though something has been disturbing your peace, making you unusually anxious, distracted, or uncertain about your direction, don't immediately assume that you have lost your way. Sometimes life simply places a small obstacle in front of you. Think of yourself driving along a road and suddenly encountering a bump. You feel it. You notice it. For a moment, the journey becomes uncomfortable, but you keep driving. That is exactly the energy around you now. There may be little disruptions. There may be misunderstandings. There may be people behaving strangely around you. There may be situations that temporarily make you question yourself. But none of those things have the power to determine where you ultimately end up. August 25th is reminding you to keep moving. You know who you are. You know what you have survived. You know what you are capable of. And there is something inside you that refuses to disappear. You have a very vivid imagination, and this is one of your greatest strengths. Your mind can see possibilities that other people don't immediately recognize. You may come up with unusual ideas, creative solutions, or completely different ways of looking at a situation. And sometimes that difference can make other people uncomfortable. Not everyone understands someone who thinks differently. Not everyone knows how to celebrate another person's abilities without comparing themselves to them. This is why you may have experienced situations where somebody seemed supportive at first, but later became distant, competitive, strangely cold, or unnecessarily critical. August 25th asks you to recognize the difference between being friendly and giving everybody access to your private world. You don't have to become cold. You don't have to isolate yourself. You don't have to stop trusting people. But you do need boundaries. There are parts of your life that deserve privacy. Your dreams deserve privacy. Your plans deserve privacy. Your next move does not need to be announced before it happens. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is quietly work towards something and let the results speak for you. You may have a tendency to open up quickly when you feel connected to someone. You meet a person, something about them feels familiar, and suddenly you find yourself telling them things that you normally keep private. On August 25th, slow that process down. Allow people to reveal who they are through their actions. Don't judge somebody only by what they promise. Watch how they behave when you succeed. Watch how they react when you receive attention. Watch whether they celebrate your progress or immediately begin comparing themselves with you. That will tell you much more than words ever could. You have a generous heart, and that is beautiful. But your kindness does not mean everybody deserves unlimited access to you. You can love people while maintaining distance. You can forgive someone without allowing them back into the same position in your life. You can wish somebody well without continuing a relationship that constantly drains you. And August 25th strongly encourages you to understand this. You don't need a huge circle around you. You need genuine people. Even one or two trustworthy connections can be more valuable than a room full of people who don't truly understand you. If you have recently felt lonely, don't immediately interpret that loneliness as proof that something is wrong with you. Sometimes solitude gives you the space to hear yourself again. You may have spent too much time trying to fit into environments where you were never meant to shrink yourself. You were never meant to become smaller simply because someone else felt uncomfortable with your confidence. There may also be someone from your past who tried to make you question your worth. Perhaps this person constantly criticized you. Perhaps they made you feel as though your dreams were unrealistic. Perhaps they wanted you to depend on their approval. Or perhaps they tried to create distance between you and people who cared about you. Whatever the situation was, August 25th brings a message of release. You are allowed to move forward. You don't have to carry an old person's opinion into your future. You don't have to prove anything to someone who already decided not to understand you. And if certain people have recently disappeared from your life, consider that possibility. Maybe their departure created space for something healthier. Not every ending is a loss. Some endings are protection. You are also being reminded to protect your energy by focusing on yourself. Don't constantly monitor what everyone else is doing. Don't compare your progress with somebody else's timeline. Don't spend hours looking at things online that make you feel anxious, inadequate, angry, or overwhelmed. August 25th is a day to step away from unnecessary noise. If you find yourself endlessly scrolling because you are trying to escape an uncomfortable feeling, pause. Ask yourself what you actually need. Rest? Quiet? A conversation with someone you trust? Time outside? Prayer? Meditation? Creative work? Sometimes distraction only covers an emotion temporarily. What you really need may be permission to simply be still. You don't always have to accomplish something. You don't always have to be productive. You are a human being, not a machine. There is nothing wrong with taking a breath and allowing yourself to exist without constantly trying to fix something. Your inner world deserves attention too. On August 25th, create a peaceful environment around yourself. Clean your space. Put your phone away for a while. Listen to something calming. Write down your thoughts. Spend time doing something creative. If spiritual practices are meaningful to you, prayer or meditation may help you reconnect with your sense of peace. The important message is not that you need to fear invisible forces. The message is that you have more control over your attention and your choices than you sometimes realize. Don't give your peace away to people who haven't earned access to it. And don't let fear convince you that every difficult moment is a sign that something terrible is happening. Sometimes a difficult day is simply a difficult day. You can acknowledge it and continue forward. There is also a strong message around self-worth. Someone may have made you question your abilities. Someone may have made you feel as though you weren't good enough. Maybe they criticized your work. Maybe they questioned your intelligence. Maybe they made you doubt your appearance or your personality. Maybe they constantly compared you with other people. But those thoughts don't have to become your identity. On August 25th, question the thoughts that don't sound like you. If you suddenly hear an inner voice saying, "I'm not capable," ask yourself, is this actually my belief? Or is this something I learned from somebody else's treatment of me? You don't have to accept every negative thought simply because it appears in your mind. You can choose which beliefs you keep. And you are stronger than you think. There is also an adventurous side of you that needs to come back to life. You may be someone who loves discovering new things, learning about different subjects, trying different experiences, exploring new places, or simply doing something that breaks your normal routine. Don't lose that part of yourself. You can be responsible while still being curious. You can be careful while still being adventurous. You can have boundaries without becoming afraid of life. August 25th encourages you to reconnect with the part of yourself that still feels excited about what is possible. You may also notice your dreams becoming particularly memorable around this time. If you wake up remembering a dream clearly, write it down. Not every dream is a prediction, but dreams can sometimes reveal what your mind has been processing emotionally. They can show you fears, hopes, memories, or ideas that you haven't consciously considered. Pay attention to recurring themes. Pay attention to what emotions appear. Pay attention to what your mind keeps returning to. And most importantly, have faith in your ability to move forward. You are approaching the end of an old cycle. Something is changing. You may not have every answer yet, but you can feel that you're not exactly the same person you were before. August 25th can feel like a turning point because you're beginning to understand that you cannot take your old mindset into your new chapter. You have to stop postponing the things that matter. If there is something important you've been avoiding, start. If there is a conversation you've been putting off, think about whether it needs to happen. If there is a goal you've repeatedly told yourself you'll begin next week, take one small step now. You don't need to transform your entire life in one day. You simply need to stop standing still. Change often begins quietly. One decision. One boundary. One habit. One brave action. And suddenly, months later, you realize your entire life looks different. That is the energy surrounding August 25th. Movement. Transition. Growth. A new chapter developing gradually. You may even notice changes in yourself that other people recognize before you do. Someone who hasn't seen you for a long time may notice how different you seem. Not necessarily because you've become someone else, but because you've become more comfortable being yourself. Your confidence may be changing. Your presence may be changing. The way you speak may be changing. The way you carry yourself may be changing. And these changes don't have to be about becoming perfect. They are about becoming more authentic. You are learning to stop seeking permission to be who you already are. And that can make some people uncomfortable. But their discomfort is not your responsibility. You don't need to dim your personality to make someone else feel secure. You don't need to hide your talents. You don't need to pretend you are less capable than you are. At the same time, confidence doesn't require arrogance. You can shine while remaining kind. You can succeed without putting anybody else down. You can know your worth without believing you're better than everyone around you. That balance is important. There is also a message here about feeling an emptiness inside. If you've recently felt like you need constant entertainment, constant scrolling, constant shopping, constant activity, or constant stimulation just to avoid sitting with yourself, August 25th asks you to slow down. What if you don't need to fill every empty moment? What if silence isn't a problem? What if rest isn't laziness? What if you don't need to constantly become something else? Sometimes healing begins when you stop running from yourself. Just breathe. Just exist. Just allow yourself to be where you are. You don't have to have everything figured out today. And if someone has tried to make you feel like a victim of your past, remember this. Your past can explain you without controlling you. You can acknowledge what happened without allowing it to decide what happens next. You are still capable of making new choices. You are still capable of building something meaningful. You are still capable of finding happiness. And nobody else gets to write the ending of your story. There may be someone around you who doesn't understand your confidence. They may interpret your boundaries as arrogance. They may interpret your independence as distance. They may misunderstand your silence. Let them. Not every misunderstanding requires an explanation. Sometimes the most peaceful response is simply continuing to live your life. August 25th is not asking you to chase approval. It is asking you to trust yourself. If someone doesn't appreciate your presence, you don't need to beg them to understand your value. If someone doesn't recognize your effort, keep improving anyway. If someone tries to discourage your dream, you don't have to abandon it. Your future does not require everybody's permission. So if you have been feeling like you're being pulled in different directions lately, come back to yourself. Come back to your goals. Come back to your values. Come back to the things that make you feel grounded. And remember, a temporary obstacle is not the same thing as failure. A difficult moment is not the same thing as a ruined future. A closed door is not proof that there are no doors ahead. Sometimes you simply haven't reached the right one yet. August 25th carries a strong message of faith, patience, boundaries, and movement. Something old is losing its power. Something new is beginning to develop. And you don't need to force it. Take the next step. Then another. Keep going. You may not see the entire road yet, but you don't need to. You only need enough light to take the next step. And please remember this above everything else. Do not make yourself smaller just to make somebody else comfortable. Don't hide your creativity. Don't abandon your dreams. Don't allow someone's jealousy to become your insecurity. Don't allow somebody else's criticism to become your inner voice. And don't forget how far you've already come. The version of you that exists on August 25th has learned lessons that your past self didn't know yet. You've become wiser. You've become more selective. You've become more aware of your boundaries. And you're beginning to understand that protecting your peace doesn't mean closing your heart. It means choosing carefully who gets to enter it. So move through August 25th with calm confidence. You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to answer every person. You don't need to explain every decision. You don't need to announce every goal. Keep some things sacred. Work quietly. Grow quietly. Heal quietly. And when the results arrive, let them speak for themselves. The people who are meant to understand you will understand you. The people who genuinely care about you will support you. And the people who only wanted access to your energy will eventually reveal themselves through their actions. Your job is not to control them. Your job is to remain true to yourself. So take a deep breath. Release what no longer belongs in your life. Stop carrying old opinions into a new chapter. Stop postponing what matters. Stop doubting every step simply because someone else doesn't understand where you're going. August 25th is your reminder that you are still moving forward. The road may not be perfectly smooth. There may still be bumps. There may still be unexpected turns. But you are not going backward. You are learning. You are growing. You are becoming stronger. And most importantly, you are remembering who you are. Do not dim your light for anyone. Keep your heart open, but keep your boundaries strong. Keep your dreams alive, but keep some of them private. Keep moving, even when the next destination isn't completely visible. And trust that the next chapter can be better than the one you are leaving behind. August 25th is not the end of your journey. It is another step toward the life you have been trying to create. And this time, you're taking that step with more wisdom, more self-respect, and a much clearer understanding of your own worth.